One of the vegetables that's getting a lot of love lately is the Brussels sprout. And I really love Brussels sprouts, but restaurants, in my opinion, tend to get it wrong. And this is what they get wrong. They put on their menu charred Brussels sprouts or roasted Brussels sprouts. And what do? They blanch them first. Now, if I was in a restaurant, I probably would do it too because it's quicker to cook. But the end product, this is a cabbage. I mean, it's gonna suck up a lot of water. So if you want charred or crispy Brussels sprouts, you don't want H2O on this. So go ahead and give a little bit more time and roast them properly. So I went ahead and cut these in half to make it go a little bit faster and to get caramelization on both sides. So I really want to lubricate these with some extra virgin olive oil. And then I'm going to hit it with some flavoring. So I have some salt, a little bit of pepper. I have some red chili flake, I like it hot, especially with bacon. And I have some lemon thyme. Do you have to use lemon thyme? Can I use regular thyme? Sure. But at the farmer's market, they have some beautiful lemon thyme, so I use that. Now the thing about the oil, I talk a lot about this when we roast any kind of item. You really want to have it covered in fat, so it really helps the roasting process and caramelization process, because sometimes when you roast things, the product looks a little dry. And dry is not appetizing, and dry is not helping the cooking process. So I'm gonna go ahead and dump these out. The other thing about roasting, you really want to spread them out so they don't start to steam on each other. Do I care that the thyme might get a little bit burnt? Nope, it's gonna impart flavor. I'm gonna toss it out anyway. It's just for the roasting process. Now when we talk about dry, I might even hit it with a little bit of extra oil during the process and to start the process just to make sure I have coverage. Also, once it goes in the tray, I'm gonna hit it with a little bit more salt because it tends to come off. If you don't believe me, there's salt in the bowl. So obviously it didn't get all into the Brussels sprouts. I'm gonna throw it into a really hot oven. I'm doing 425 on convection. If you don't have convection, go ahead and do 450. Our Brussels are in the oven. Now I'm gonna start the bacon. Here's the thing about bacon. I went ahead and got really nice bacon and made lardons. What the heck does that mean? That just means thick, rectangle pieces, right? If you wanna chop it up, chop it up. But this is how I did it. It's just really nice bacon. And the company that I bought it from, this is an actual bourbon bacon, but just in case it doesn't have enough, boom, bourbon right here. Now as far as caramelizing this bacon, this has a lot of fat, it's gonna give up a lot of fat. I like to start the pan, just like any other technique, it's a saute, and I have a little bit of oil. Now, I'm not gonna need to coat the entire pan, but I just wanna get it started. Sizzle, sizzle. This is a really big pan. I just wanna take my time here, spread these out, and get some nice caramelization on these really nice pieces of bacon. I mean, really, this is a side dish. When you think about the size of the bacon, the quality of the bacon, the Brussels sprouts, slap an egg on it, and it's a main, dish. But for us, it's gonna be a side. And a side you wanna think about for any kind of holiday like Thanksgiving or Christmas. Once the bacon gets caramelized, I'm gonna deglaze a little bit of bourbon for extra flavor, and then I'll check on those Brussels sprouts. Okay, this bacon is nicely caramelized. Just gonna move it in the pan. Now I have a little bit too much oil because I'm gonna introduce the Brussels sprouts back into the pan. So I wanna get rid of some of this oil. I wanna keep a little oil for the flavor for the Brussels sprouts, but I don't need all of this. All right, this stuff right here is fond. We've talked about it before. Total flavor, it's not burnt. So I want to add a little bit of alcohol to that. So, a little bourbon. And as that bourbon's working, it's going to take off that fond from the bottom of the pan. And now I'm going to shut my flame off and just let evaporation happen. And once that bourbon takes that fond off, I'll introduce it to the bacon so that bacon gets more bourbon flavor. And then when those Brussels are done, I'm gonna add to the pan and turn on the flame. You can tell what the bourbon does right away. I mean, it just looks a little sticky icky, which is very much flavor. So we have a few more minutes for those Brussels, and then we can add it to the pan and finish up this dish. All right, Brussels sprouts are out. As you can see, really nice caramelization here. I'm gonna take out a little bit of this thyme. But what I love about these Brussels sprouts are like these end pieces, or sometimes they fall off. Super crunchy, a lot of flavor. It's just gonna be really, really good. And just take a few more of this thyme out. All right, I have the bacon. It's getting caramelized again with that bourbon. I want to add this to it. And I'm just looking to gently coat these. And that's it. Shut off my pan. That nice bacon fat is all over the Brussels sprouts. Looks shiny, not dry, totally appetizing. Get that one piece out. Now, as far as the herbage goes, I have some fresh herbs here just to add. Again, some lemon thyme. If you don't have it, regular thyme works good too. And really, what this herb is doing, it hits the hot oil and hits the Brussels sprouts, and there's just a nice aroma. I mean, you know, people garnish with trees, yes, but the point for me is the flavor. And plus they're gonna wilt a little bit, so totally gonna be fine. I wanna taste one of these. Really good. A little more salt. Getting a little heat from that red chili flake, really good. What I love about this dish is the flavors. Crispy bacon, really nice Brussels sprouts that are not waterlogged, and then this thyme. And then the addition of that red chili flake just makes the dish. The other thing about this I like, it could be a side, like I was talking about for Thanksgiving or Christmas, but this could be like a breakfast as well. Really good breakfast, actually. Throw a little poached egg, fried egg. This would be a great Sunday brunch item. Brussels sprouts with a little bourbon bacon, lemon thyme.